Welcome back to the Tin Man Boating Club YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to be a more courteous boater at the launch ramp or dock. As many of us boaters know, there are very frequently boaters who come to the lake who seem to spend too much time at the launch ramp, kind of in people's way, or just basically doing things that take extra time and are not allowing everybody to get out on the water as fast as they want to. The best way to be courteous at the boat ramp or launch ramp or dock is to spend the least amount of time there as possible. I believe there are two main reasons which cause people to spend too much time at the boat ramp or the dock in people's way. Those two reasons are either you have a lack of experience driving a trailer or you have a lack of experience driving a boat. And it's very typical that there's one person on the boat or in the group that has plenty of experience. But you really need two people that have experience, or at least one person that has good experience with the boat and one person that has good experience with the trailer. Now I understand there may be cases where you don't trust somebody to either drive the trailer or drive the boat. Also, there's maybe cases where maybe it's a fisherman that's out on his own that day and there's no law against that. It's perfectly fine. In those situations, I would suggest that you simply make sure that your transition from leaving your boat in the water at the dock to going and parking and then coming back to your boat is quick. You just try to make that as quick as possible. Although, if it is due to inexperience, my suggestion is that you take the time to train somebody as opposed to leaving your boat at the dock. So the amount of time that it would take to train somebody and give them a few tips, let them try backing in or let them drive the boat off the trailer would be similar to the amount of time as you going up to the parking lot and coming back and then driving away with your boat. So now I'm going to show you what I do and what I suggest you do when you are launching and loading your boat for the day. The first thing you want to do when you get to the lake is park somewhere completely out of the way so that other boaters and drivers can go by you if they're ready to get into the water right away. And then what you do is you get your boat ready. Make sure your drain plugs are in, make sure the straps on the back of the boat are disconnected, and you can either leave the strap on the nose of the boat or take it off at this point. Kind of depends on your comfort level and whether or not your boat can slip off the trailer very easily. You load your coolers, you load your boards, you load your life jackets, you load everybody that's going to be on the boat except for the driver of the truck who's going to be backing the trailer in. And I want to make it clear that you need to load everybody but the driver of the truck, because on days where the dock is busy, you don't want to have to sit at the dock picking up multiple people or come in multiple times to grab multiple people. It's better if you can nose in, grab one person, and get out of the way. Now you're ready to launch. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your driver line up to back you in, and if your driver doesn't know how to back a trailer in really well, you can tell them to use their side mirror to look at the side of the dock and the side of the trailer that matches the side of the dock, and just try to get that close to the dock but leave about a foot. And then that's all they have to look at the whole way down. They don't have to look at anything else. I mean, obviously be aware of your surroundings, so make sure there's nothing over there on the other side that you can hit. But as far as lining it up and guiding it in, they can just look at the one side and make sure it's getting to the appropriate closeness to the dock. And actually right here, you can see that there is a person at the dock that is doing exactly what you should try to avoid. They are holding their boat right at the dock, waiting for their truck driver to come back. And that's obviously because that either the person at the dock is inexperienced boat driving or they're inexperienced driving the trailer, one of the two. And I can tell you the easiest one to learn first is going to be backing the trailer in. There's a lot of people that are afraid of backing a trailer in, but that's going to be the easiest one to learn first. If you have an inboard boat, it is the hardest to learn how to maneuver when backing up. If you have an inboard outboard boat or an outboard motor, those are actually fairly simple as far as you can adjust where how you're turned or how you're sitting a lot quicker. You can also see that there is somebody at the dock that has just come in to pick up their person. They're doing what I'm going to show you how to do. Now I'm showing you a shot from last year just to kind of give you an idea how we're backing in. Once you have the boat in the water, I actually run up and disconnect the strap, or if I know it's already disconnected, then I'm going to turn on the boat and I'm literally going to back off the trailer. Some people like to take this front strap off and kind of go in with a little bit more speed, not much, but just a little bit more speed, and then hit the brakes, and then their boat will slide off. If you're comfortable with that method, that's fine. I prefer to just drive my boat off. If you have the trailer in the water the appropriate amount, then you can just back it right off. And the next thing I do is I literally get completely out of the way, move completely away from the dock, so that I can wait for the driver to go park the vehicle. And in that amount of time, several boats can launch. I'm not in the way of anybody. All I'm going to do is wait for the driver of the truck to get back, kind of just hang out there until I see them. It gives them a chance if they need to go to the bathroom, and you're not holding anybody up at the dock. So then once you see them coming down, you can either nose up or back up or put the side of your boat up to the dock to pick up your person. I usually prefer to back up so that my driver, whether it be my wife or one of my friends, can just hop right onto the swim platform. That does take a little bit, if you have an inboard boat especially, that does take some experience to figure that out. But you can see that there's no other boats there right now, nobody else launching. That's when I prefer to back in. Anytime there's lots of boats launching or lots of boats around the dock, or it's windy, something like that, I always nose up, because when you nose up, I have a lot better view and I can also get right out of there right away. Now we are loading the boat, so you can see that there is a good amount of traffic at the ramp right now. There's a couple of boats being loaded. I'm not sure if one's being launched. So this time I'm preferring to nose up to drop off my driver, in this case my wife. And you'll be able to see that I nose up. My friend is there to kind of spot me. I don't always need that, but it is nice. If you got somebody in the boat, just make sure that you're not getting too close, and he's actually holding on to it for her for a second. She hops off, and I immediately back up and get out of the way. So that way the people that are there can continue to load. If there was people launching or loading, you get out of their way. You can see there's another boater going in to let somebody off. So you just want to get out of the way. Then you can see I've spotted my driver. They're backing the trailer in, so I immediately start lining up and I start idling in. So, there's a lot of ways to do this. My preferred method is to put the throttle one notch forward and then just cruise in right onto the trailer. Typically I'll tip my head over into the very middle, kind of line my head up with the point of the bow and line that up with the point of the trailer, while looking side to side and making sure that I'm lining up with my guide poles. You want to get used to how far you need to have your trailer in the water so that when you get onto the trailer, you don't end up ramming the stop at the front. You want to make sure that the trailer catches your boat before you get there. So this time was one of the better ones I've done. There has been a time or two where I'll tap it, but you just want to get used to that. If you have an inboard outboard or an outboard motor, you're going to be able to maneuver this a lot more as you're coming in, so you can come in slower. But I actually just keep my throttle in that first position forward and I just keep it going in. and that keeps you straighter. If you start to slow down with an inboard, it's going to be harder to maneuver. So I just keep it going straight in. Obviously, if you want to, you can just go up to the dock, maybe hand a rope to somebody on the dock, and then you can walk the boat on if you're not comfortable with driving it on. In that case, I suggest you get the trailer as close to the dock as you can. The next step is that I always get up and I hop off on the front. I don't have the person get out of the truck to do this. I actually go ahead and I hook up that boat and I get it nice and tight, and then you can see that I told my driver to come back a little bit because I needed it to float so I could get it right up to that stop. You want to get it as tight as you can right at that point, because once you get out of the water, it's going to be much harder to do that. Okay, I hope that information was helpful. I'm definitely not trying to bash anybody who's having trouble at the lake, or maybe it's their first time out, or they just don't go out that often. I want everybody to have fun at the lake. And by saying that, I mean everybody. And obviously the faster the boats can get in the water and get out there, the more fun you can have. Generally, a boat ramp is busy, especially on those busy days. So there's gonna be people coming and going from that area the whole time. So you just wanna be one of those people that is ready to go, gets your boat in the water, gets out of the way, come back, pick up your person, and then get out of the way again. Just do whatever you can to try to help eliminate the amount of time you spend on the ramp. That's the key. Two pieces of information I'm sure everybody's heard many times. You never grade at something the first time you try it, and practice makes perfect. So make sure you're giving it a try. You know, try backing that trailer in. You know, have somebody who hasn't done it before try backing the trailer in. Have somebody who hasn't driven the boat before try driving the boat. You know, there's things like that you can actually train people how to drive a trailer way far away from the boat ramp. You know, get them used to backing a trailer in. When me and my wife first started dating, I didn't hesitate. I wanted her to start backing the trailer in immediately. She has gotten really good at it over the years. She's constantly being complimented. I mean, hardly ever do you see women who are backing that trailer in. I think it's actually empowering. I'm also always encouraging my friends to back the trailer in. You know, I always kind of pick out a few different people. They may have experience backing trailers or not, but I like to start getting them that experience, because chances are, you know, you're not always going to have that person around that has the experience. My wife is not there all the time. You know, there's definitely at least 2 or 3 times out of the year where my wife is not there, so I have to have somebody else that can do it. So just take the time to train somebody. As far as a boat is concerned, like I said, I think that's the one that's harder to learn, because at low speeds it is harder to figure out how to maneuver a boat. But that just comes with time. So if you never give somebody the opportunity to drive your boat, they're never going to learn how to do that. The best way to help somebody figure out how to drive a boat is when you're out on the open water, you know, let them drive. I have to have somebody who knows how to drive my boat, because I like to be wakeboarding, I like to be surfing, you know. You just got to make sure you're training other people, and as long as you have other people that can help you out, then you're going to be one of those people that's very courteous at the dock and spending the least time at the dock. I want to thank you for watching my video. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave some comments if you have different ideas or tips about launching your boat. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time.